What is something you love but everybody hates? Me. Solitude. People confuse it with loneliness, being alone. 30s. Have a friend who died in an accident last year and another with terminal cancer who won't see the end of 2024. The one who died in the accident had a 2-year wrinkle means more time I've spent with my friends and family. I get to see my daughter grow up. I also tried to kill myself twice, so appreciate so much that I'm here and mentally well. Crows. They're so smart and resourceful. Social and cooperative. They get a lot of hate. Subtitles. Hearing the same song in a loop 10x, 20x, 30x. Fig rolls. If you're not from the UK you may know them as fig Newtons. Rain. A drink. With no ice. Deal with it. Baby skateboards away impressively. The heels on the loaf of bread. Green olives. I love those pickled pieces of shit. I love lamp. What is, truly, the root of all evil? 25.8069758011. Assuming 666 is evil, that's the root. Greed has to be pretty high up the list. Insecurity. Okay, but the Bible quote isn't money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. Money's fine, it's caring more about money than people that's the problem. Greed power, but in the way of not thinking about other can be greedy and should look out for yourself to a certain extent but not at the detriment of other people. Fear. Ego. I would say greed has a huge role in it. Penis envy. Fear. What songs have the sickest bass lines? Genius of Love. Tom Tom Club. Why Does You Can Call Me. I'll never get a mention on these threads. I love it. Ramble On by Led Zeppelin is definitely one of my favorite bass line of all time. Added Up by the Violent Femmes. Roundabout by Yes. Would Alice in Chains. Fugazi. Waiting Room. Cannonball by the Breeders. John Entwistle is pretty legendary on many songs. Jerry Was a Race Car Driver. Most Talking Heads songs. Tina Weymouth gets overlooked far too often for my liking. The Less I Know the Better by Tame Impala. Rubber Band Man. Birdland by Weather Report. In the Meantime. Space Hog. Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers Band. The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Hysteria by Muse. Pneuma by Tool. Blue Monday. New Order. Never There by Cake. Fantasy by Earth Wind and Was the Era for sick bass lines. Almost any Rush song. What's an old internet trend you wish would make a comeback? Flash games. Posting random, candid photos and thoughts on social media. Insta and Facebook used to be full of the most random, stream of consciousness, off-the-cuff content, and it was great. Even a lot of the Kardashians' old posts are actually funny and entertaining to look back on now. Social media was fun before it became so curated, edited, monopolized and awful for young vulnerable people's self-esteem. Original videos not incentivized by money or similar. One can dream. Old school internet forums dedicated to a single are sort of like that, which is why Reddit is the only social media I'll use. It's never fully gone away, but I miss when creative enterprises on the internet were driven by creative people wanting to share and not hoping to turn everything into a side gig, hustle, make it big, downloading custom cursor effects for your computer. What's the craziest thing your ex did and lied they didn't? Cheated. Which doesn't sound crazy until you learn that she tried to accuse me of cheating on her because she tested positive for a common STD shortly after we broke up. I tested clean, filmed me while I was showering. Would watch me on the baby monitor while I was in bed and he was downstairs. Would film me while I was asleep, my feet as well as up my nightgown. We had already broken up and he came over to pick up our toddler and I saw him taking upskirt photos of me. I literally froze and didn't say anything. I felt so used. I was her third husband. She talked about how her and I were special and she felt comfortable taking her spouse as my last name for the first time. I was flattered until I saw her passport with her ex's last. This day I still don't know why she lied about that. What's the last thing you ate? One Mustang and the traffic lights. A dick, sparkles. A rape of Venezuela national food with meat and cheddar cheese. My pride. Fleischkäseweckel. Magnum ice cream bar. A choc chip muffin. Chocolate puffed rice. Buckwheat with chicken. Cherry tomatoes and cucumber. Fresh veggies instantly charged me with energy. I really missed it. A tasty lasagna. A-OK hand. A croissant. Flaky outside but soft and buttery inside. Similar to Op's mom. Sugar waffle. Just had a toasted sandwich for lunch. Chocolate chip cookies. Twix extra bar. 1-4 Angus burger from Harvey's with all the toppings. My farts are actually lethal. An apple. Bonini. What's the most bizarre thing you've seen in someone else's home? Standing in one locked room. Alive, I mean. When I was a volunteer firefighter, we responded to a fully involved house fire one afternoon when the owner was at work, and after forcing entry and starting suppression we went to the basement to cut gas and power, and we found a shrine of Nazi memorabilia and a steel bar prisoner's cell. Last Supper with him in it instead of Jesus over the TV. Used to work for a cable company, Watched bedbugs crawl out of a woman's hair. That Redditor with the porn corner full of sculpted erotica has to be high on the in my EMS days. Walking past a pile of newspapers in the driveway and noticing thousands of flies in the window were clues that we were about to see something terrible after gaining access to the house. Massive dildo with some funky oscillating action just sitting on the arm of the couch. I pointed it out and said it was impressive, and they turned it on to show the way it wiggled. What's the silliest reason you got kicked out of a community for? A streamer who owned a guild in a game I was in. He kept complaining that maybe he should in mine. This guy is rich AF from streaming. I said then quit. Instant guild. I got kicked out of a parenting group on Facebook because a mom made a post about how she'd named her sons Aragorn and Morpheus, and I laughed reacted it. Pensive face. Lol. I got banned from Discord anime community for saying that I was never interested in JoJo Bizarre, claimed they are open-minded community. Banned from our Star Trek for saying that I wasn't a fan of Picard Season 2. I got one of my 10-year-old accounts permanently suspended from all of Reddit for criticizing the British royal family on our world news. What's the strangest coincidence that has ever happened to you? One time, I randomly struck up a conversation with a stranger on a plane, only to find out that we had both attended the same obscure summer camp in different states when we were kids. What were the odds of that? It felt like stumbling upon a hidden connection in the vast expanse of the world. I used to get 2 buses home from work. I got off the first one having left my phone and keys on the front seat of the bus without realizing. Got on the second bus, went to my favorite front seat, and my possessions that I didn't know were missing were waiting for me. The bus had changed driver and route. Still freaks my nut out to this day. I was randomly thinking about this old advertisement that was popular when I was younger, and I haven't thought about it in loads of years. Just to open TikTok, and the first video was that same advertisement. I was shocked for a few minutes. DBH. You're a soldier in the Middle Ages. You've accidentally stabbed your comrade in battle and he's dying in front of you. What do you say to him? What's my wife? Sorry, your wife's name again. I want to give her my condolences. 'Tis just a scratch. Oops. God save the king queen. My bad bro. Take care. Sorry. Get wrecked noob. This is for stealing my horse. We'll get some leeches in there and have you fixed up in no time. Sorry, bruh. Would it make you feel better if I stabbed myself and we get to see who dies first? Oi, that pointy bit's a tad sharp, innit? I'm sorry my friend, you fought well, now rest in peace. Doth mother know you weareth her drapes? Oopsie doopsie, I muffed it up again. Hey, it works. Sorry mate, you're a meat shield now. Good K-night. I honestly should have been a Navy instead. I regret that you have but one life to give to your country. If you could have the entire world know one fact or piece of knowledge, what would it be and why? Human memory isn't perfect. Just because someone disagrees with you, that doesn't mean they dislike you. You can have a debate without getting your feelings involved. So many problems could be avoided by just thinking, how would this make them feel? Thoughts aren't facts. Corporations are not, and never will be your friends, nor will they ever serve your interests. When the police say, anything you say can and will be used against you, they mean exactly what they said. Not might. Not may. But will. And not to help you. Not to uncover the truth. Against the fuck up, especially if you is not possible to speak and help yourself. Anything you say will be used against you. They just told you that. Vaccines do not cause autism. Modern media is designed to influence, not inform. What are your opinions on dress codes in offices? Wear whatever you want as long as it's not overly sexual. Outdated in 2024. I can understand to a point if you're customer facing, but other than that it has no place in our world today. It's extremely stupid, and oftentimes dress codes extend beyond clothes and into things that maintaining influence people's lives outside of work. Piercings, hair dye, etc. Emo unless you have a tattoo of Peter Griffin with his whiner out or show up in assless chaps. There is nothing unprofessional about personal style, and if anyone finds it distracting, that's their problem that they need to work out on their own time, as long as it's not inappropriate or offensive. What are your thoughts on being called honey, darling, hon, or other cutesy names and on ma'am and sir? As long as it's coming from a place of kindness, I don't mind being called really. Man at the farmer's market selling me tomatoes calls me sweetheart. Okay, have a lovely dude slowing down his car as I'm walking my dog calls me sweetheart. Fuck right off. I'm a southern lady that taught pre-K for 14 years. Everyone is honey unless they're being rude or disrespectful, then they're ma'am or sir. I'm either in the south, I'm hanging with some grannies, or we're sexing. Personally, being called those terms is kinda cute, but ma'am makes me feel like a grandma. Smiley face. I'm lucky they don't call me an asshole. I'm a middle-aged southern woman. I call everybody one of these names, but it's all from a warm heart, and if anyone asked me to call them otherwise, I'd oblige them. What books can you recommend for those who want to start reading more? Short stories? Lovecraft did a lot, and I like how trippy they get. The one with the guy being hypnotized by the Azathoth cult. He was super prolific up to when he died. The first Witcher book was pretty much a collection of short stories, so you can finish a part and come back to it. Find a non-fiction book on a topic you're already interested in. For example, history, science, sports, whatever you're into. If you're interested in a subject, wouldn't you automatically want to read about it? I usually don't like recommending specific books, because you may not like them. But if you want to start reading, browse your favorite genre in books and see what looks the most interesting to read. Stephen King's short story compilations like Everything is Eventual or 4 Past Midnight, you get the gratification of completion with little effort.